and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So today I'm going to be looking at a mini grail of mine. I don't mind saying that. It's the Hamilton Khaki King. It comes in a couple of variations. You can get the black dial, you can get the champagne dial. When I first saw this watch a few years ago, I really thought I was going to end up getting it on the black dial. Really like the look of it. I like the fact the date window and the date is at the 12 o'clock position. I like the dial. I like everything about the watch, to be honest. I like the 80 hour power reserve. There's so much I love about this watch. But as time's gone on and my collection's grown and grown and grown, I've started to realise that actually I've got so many black dial watches. It just didn't seem viable to have another black watch. So I've gone for the champagne dial, and I must say it looks fantastic. It's been a while with coming, this watch, in terms of getting it in, just because I've spread myself thin, shall we say, in terms of watches I've been bringing in, and a lot of watches that I buy, I don't generally buy for myself. They're kind of more for the channel, and this watch is sort of like a $500 odd watch, so it's taken me a while to get it for my collection. But if I come across like I'm gushing a little bit in this video, I do apologise. It's just that I really love this watch. I'm sure we all have watches that we want and we want for a while, and we get them, we're just in a honeymoon period, shall we say, and this watch probably will be no different. So that'll probably lead me on to telling you that, yeah, just keep an eye, obviously stay tuned, but hopefully this will be quite a positive video, given the fact that I really do love this watch and it's one that I've wanted for a long time. I will leave the model number in front of me. As I've said before, I don't really want to be looking down too much. A little bit rude. I'm the type of person that if you talk to me, I will look at you. So obviously I'm not going to start looking down and stuff. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning back in. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. As I said in the brief intro, this has been a mini grail of mine for probably a couple of years. I've seen it on a few YouTubers reviews and stuff, and I really like the look of it, to be honest. Initially, I always thought, as I said again in the intro, I'd always get it on the black. But over time, given the fact that I own quite a few black dial watches, I felt like I needed something different. So obviously I went for the champagne dial. This is the packaging it came in. I bought this from a retailer called Watch Nation in the UK. Yeah, and just denoting the fact that it's also signed, because I bought it from Watch Nation. And it's got your seat in there, it's got an instruction manual, and it's got the box. Let me get the box out. It's a wooden box, nice, or at least a wooden effect box, should I say. And inside you've got the watch. Let me just take it out very quickly, and I'll show you the tang. It's got all the bits and pieces, stickers and stuff that I had to take off of it. That's the retail price in British pounds, and the model number is H64455523, and this is I think it's called the Khaki King Pioneer, or that's what it's being sold as on Watch Nation. But yeah, I took the plunge. I set myself a target. I reached it, and I bought it. So there you go. That's the packaging. Far better than the packaging I got of my Khaki Air Race, but this one I bought from a proper seller, so that's probably why. And then there you have it. This is the watch. And guys, I do love that dial. That dial is something to behold. Yeah, but we'll go into that in a second. Let's go through the specs of the watch now. So, as I've already said, the model number for this is H64455523. The movement inside is an in-house H40 movement, and it does have an 80-hour power reserve. From what I understand, this movement is an ETA 2824, but they've modified it, so it's no longer 28,000 beats per hour. It's now 21,000. But as a compromise, they've given you the 80-hour power reserve, which is fantastic. I actually prefer that. It's a slightly less smooth sweep, but again, it's a trade-off, isn't it? The case material, fixed bezel, crown, outer part of the exhibition case back, and also, if I can get it around, the pin buckle clasp, all 316L stainless steel. Mixture of polishing and brushing throughout the watch. You've got a polished fixed bezel. The case is all brushed, as is the exhibition outer part of the exhibition case back and pin buckle clasp. The case thickness of this watch, clasp bracelet just wants to keep closing, which makes it awkward for me. The case thickness, is 12 millimeters. The case diameter, when you go from the 8 to the 2, which is where I normally measure because it's easier, is 40 millimeters. When you go from the 9 to the 3 o'clock position, it becomes 43.5 millimeters. The lug to lug, the lug width is 20. The lug to lug is 49.5 millimeters. The case back is an exhibition case back, as you've already seen. It allows you to see the movement. Not the worst movement in the world. I like the fact they've signed the rotor, which is pretty cool. As it's screwed down, as you can see the nodules around. The bezel type, again, as I've already alluded to, is a fixed bezel and it's a high polish, which is something that is quite synonymous with this watch. The crown is signed, and you see that H, and it is a push-pull crown, but we'll get into that in just a moment when we look at the dial and the movement in a bit more detail. The strap it comes on is leather, and it's quite a substantial strap. I've been wearing this now for a little while, and it's been on my wrist and on the cushion. That's why it's sort of folded over a little bit, but very, very comfortable. And the clasp, that also is a pin buckle clasp, and it's all signed, as you can make out just there. So there you are. The crystal covering that dial is a sapphire crystal, and it looks pretty cool. I don't know, I can't make out any AR coating on it though, guys, which is a bit disappointing. But it may well have, just not picking it up on my studio lighting. The water resistance of this watch is 50 meters, which is passable, to be honest, given the fact it's not sort of a dive watch, or you're very unlikely to go swimming with it. So 50 meters will probably see you through, which will be 5 atmospheres of water resistance. Let me just wind it up a little bit, just to give it a bit of juice. So when I show you bits and pieces, it will be a bit easier. But yeah, so, and then the weight of this watch will appear in the top right hand corner. It's in and around 72.5 grams, give or take. But then yeah, let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So what you have, guys, is you've got a minute track going around the outer edge, obviously making it that bit easier to tell the time. You've got there's so many layers to this watch, so I think what you have inside is the outer edge is smooth, where you've got the minute and seconds. Inside that, you've got a different texture. It almost looks a bit like a vinyl. Don't know if you can make that in my light. And it goes back to smooth on the inner part. Below, just below the 12 o'clock position, you've got the day date, but just denoting the fact you can have the day and date at the 12. I quite like that. Below that, inside, so on the outer ring where it's like a vinyl style, you've got 1 through to 12, and inside that you've got 13 to 24, just sort of denoting morning and afternoon times. Below the day-date window at the 12 o'clock, you have Hamilton also printed on, and at the bottom, just above the 6 o'clock position, you have Khaki Automatic, just denoting the fact that this is a Khaki watch, and better known as the Khaki King. Down at the 6 o'clock, either side of the little sort of loom pips that you have all going all around, you have Swiss made, just denoting the sort of Swiss heritage of this watch. And yeah, let's have a look at the movement in a bit more detail. So as I said, it's a push-pull crown. So if you pull it out to the second position, the movement will stop, and you can sort of set the time. I'll put it to sort of around here, just to make it a little bit easier to see. I'll push it now, take it out to the first position. You can change the day and date. So we'll do the day, we'll just go through to whatever, do it to Tuesday. And if you go the other way, it will just change the day for you, and the date. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I like that function though, guys, and it's not going to be for everybody, but I do like the day-date function at the 12 o'clock. And then yeah, put it back in, and as I say, it's got a hacking hand winder, so you can hand wind it as I did a moment ago, just if it's got no juice, because it's been sitting in the box, it will just enable it to start cracking on. But yeah, that's the dial. I do love the different textures of the dial. I do like the colour. Champagne dial. I don't own any other champagne dial watches, so for me it was good to get this one in, and I'm very happy I chose this one over the black. Let me pop it on the wrist quickly. As I've said before, my wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist, for your reference, and push that in there. And yeah, as you can see, I'm wearing it. There's 2 more, so you could probably go 6.5, maybe 6.5, all the way, and then all the way up until, I don't know, 8.5, 9. A lot of play there, but that's what it looks like on me. Yeah, as I say, guys, I love this watch. I've wanted this watch for a while, and finally, as I say, set myself a target, hit it, got it. There we go, and I love this watch. But guys, now that'll take me on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. And as I've said before, if you've ever watched this channel, if I can get this watch off, you'll know that I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So we'll start with pants, and I've got to be honest, obviously everything's subjective. You guys are going to see things you don't like. But for me, because this is a mini grail of mine, you can probably understand that I really do like this watch. So all I could find really is the fact that it got a pin buckle clasp on there. I know it sounds a bit nitpicky, but there's not really much else that offends me about this watch, which is probably why it's a mini grail. If you have a mini grail or grail, you're probably going to struggle to pick holes in it, so I do apologise, but do come back for the long-term review, which I'll probably do in a few months' time. So, but yeah, for now, all I could say for pants is the pin buckle clasp. What I think is pucker, as I've already alluded to, the dial. I do like the textures on that dial. I do like the colour. I do like the way it plays with the light. I do like the date location. I think it's pretty cool. The fact it's up at the 12 o'clock position. Obviously, you've got Sapphire crystal, always a winner. The leather strap is actually really, really nice and really, really thick. And this will probably last a long, long time, to be honest, guys. I'm really happy with that strap. The movement inside, as I've showed you before, Swiss movement, and the fact it's give you an 80-hour power reserve is just a cherry on the top of that cake. And also just the fit and finish, as you probably would expect. Everything is done to a great standard. The brushing is really nice. Everything fits nicely. Yeah, this watch has lived up to every expectation. So just to surmise, I would go with the dial. I would go with the date location. I'd go with the sapphire crystal leather strap. The movement and the fit and finish for what I think is pucker. And would I recommend this watch? So obviously it's going to be very difficult now to say no, given the fact I love this watch. I'm so happy that I bought it. I'm so glad it's in my collection, and I feel very, very happy to have it. Whenever I wear it, it makes me smile. There's, like I said, there's a black version. They've got the champagne version. They come on leather straps. They come on stainless steel straps. I said I'll leave a link in the description, but please enter the model number and look up on Google and see if you can find anything more in your price range, or just for a better price generally. So yeah, I definitely recommend this watch. But guys and girls, let me know what you think about this watch. Any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like and subscribe. And always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.